I got fiber internet, pretty neat. Google Fiber is placing wires down, promising 8 gigabytes a second within the next couple of years. That's freaking awesome. If we didn't live in such a rural area, it wouldn't be so bad, but we live way out here in the middle of fucking nowhere. Escapes dungeons. Okay. 8 gigabytes a second. Is stupid. It is stupid. I need to get some levels. What's weird is when we lived on installation, we had the same company, but we didn't have this kind of issues where it would drop, you know, every 2 minutes or so. It's not until we moved out here when it became a problem. And they changed from Cable America to Sparklight. Need to make sure everybody stays alive, because you can die really quick at the the very first dungeon if you're not paying attention. You probably really have a really nice home though, and maybe don't have to lock your doors every day type place. Yeah, that's essentially what we have. We live in a small town. Everybody knows each other. They're all relatively friendly. We're near a military installation. I mean, it's a nice house. The house itself is huge. 3,800 square feet. A reasonable price. If you were to buy this house in, like, I don't know, somewhere in California, you're looking at like $1 million plus. It's for commercial though. I looked at the pricing. It's super expensive, but we have so many hotels and entertainment and stuff. I think it would be great for them. Yeah. Like I went to a concert and the internet was slow. Oh, really? I'm much better over here. For a long time it was just BT or Virgin Media. What's BT? I know that company. Yeah, 3,800 square foot is huge. It's essentially a 2-story over basement. Like right now I'm in the basement. This is a huge house. It's an older home. 80s. But everything's been remodeled. The carpet upstairs on the top floor needs to be redone. It's an older carpet. It's not in bad shape or anything. It's just older carpet. Kill that. Kill that. I need him to die. Ramus is so slow. Die. Oh my god. The damage that freaking thing does is insane. How was it not dead? Yeah, British Telecom. That's it. What's that other company? Vodafone. Are they still a thing? They still around? I know Vodafone was big when I was in Germany. Nah, there are rural places in California too, but yeah, I used to live there. It's gotten worse. It's gotten terrible over there. It's insane. Cost of living in California, New York, Washington State. It's awful. People are leaving. So I have family in Tennessee. And they live in Nashville. And in that area, there are people from California that are moving to Nashville and are like blown away because the cost of living for the two, between the two, is insane. So like the cost of living for California is outrageous compared to Tennessee, much cheaper. So they're coming from California and buying a house out in Tennessee, and essentially they could buy 2 houses for the price of 1 out in California. But the problem is they're coming to these areas and like it's jacking up the prices of houses. They're more mobile phones. That's right. I had Vodafone when we were in England. Or no, when we were in Germany. I had Vodafone. Stupid bees. I hate bees. A huge exodus of California going to Idaho years ago too. I mean, it's when you look at it and you're like, hey, the cost of living is much cheaper somewhere else. Definitely something to think about. Doom, doom, doom. I was a part of that problem when I moved to California, from California to Texas. I mean, I don't see it as a... It can be a problem. Depending on, you know, moving like you said, a mass exodus of people, and then the housing in the new state gets overwhelmed, or they take advantage and they say, oh, okay, since there's all these new people that are moving here, we should raise the price of housing. That way we can make more profit. No, don't kill her. Don't kill me. Thank God. No, I hate you. The locals didn't like it. Significantly increased their property taxes. Yeah, that'll do it. When a bunch of people from one place move to another place and then immediately say that the new place needs to be like the place we just left is when it becomes a problem for me. Exactly. Then why did you leave the place you were at? Like, I don't get that. You should have just stayed where you were. If you'd have stayed where you were, it would have been fine. But you came here. You shouldn't have came here. Don't come here. If you want to if you want it like it, you know, like it was back home, don't come here. Love having a $1,300 mortgage. Yeah, our mortgage for this house is more expensive. But the reason the housing market right now, when we bought this, was kind of all over the place. Kill him. Good damage. Maybe he'll die on the next attack. Those freaking Yetis are scary. Die. No. How are you not dead? How much HP does this thing have? Yeah, my mortgage is $2,100 a month now, which is actually cheaper than rent. So yeah, I mean that's insane. When your mortgage is cheaper than rent, that's bonkers. That there's no incentive to rent anymore. Like before, there used to be an incentive to rent. Like it prepared you, and you could save up money to purchase a home in the future. But now that there's no incentive for that. Now it's you either rent for the rest of your life or you purchase a home. You better make a decision. Yeah, $2,100 for rent is not fair. So we used to own another house here in the area. When we moved here the first time, we bought a home because the housing market was trash to rent. So we were like, we'll buy a house. So we bought a house, and it was before kids. It was 1,400 square feet, and it was fine for just me and her and a couple of dogs. And we bought the house, and it was a nice home. It was a brand new build, and we kept it for years. When we moved back here this time, we sold it. But the whole time we were moved away from that home, we rented it out. Oh my God, my internet. So anyway, we used to own a home here before, years ago. And we kept that house to rent out for years. And when we moved back here this time, we decided to sell it. But the whole time that we were living somewhere else, we were renting it out, and people were, renting it from us. And we noticed all the other homes in the subdivision, people kept raising their rent. It went from like $700 a month to $900 a month to $1,200 a month to $1,400 a month. I was just like, oh my God, that's insane. And we were talking to our property manager, and the property manager was like, hey, you might want to think about raising your rent because everybody's raising their rent, and we don't want you to be cheated out of any money. And we were like, hold on. Our mortgage is this much a month. And we were like telling them the mortgage. And we were like, why do I need to raise my rent when the rent money is covering the mortgage itself? I'm not going to raise my rent and screw somebody. And they were like, well, it's just something to think about. And we were like, we don't need to raise it. There's no reason to raise it. So all the money that we got from rent and stuff, we kind of put to the side and like would use it to upgrade the home or put in new carpet or new flooring or whatever. New appliances that might need to be replaced and so on. So like it was fine. We didn't have any issues, but people just kept raising their rent. And the houses that the other people were renting in the neighborhood was no bigger than ours. So why do I need to raise my rent just because I want to make more money? We always had someone in that house. It never went empty, ever. So the unfairness is ridiculous. Because someone told you that you need to raise your rent because everyone else is doing it is not fair. Like, that's bullshit. That's just mean. Positive reinforcement of your internet. I love my internet. Who's a good internet? I hate you, internet. Yeah, positive reinforcement. ISP is a great idea. The old place was $2,100 a month for a 1,400 square foot townhome. See, that's insane. There's no reason to charge $2,100 a month for 1,400 square feet. My current place is a single family household for $2,100 a month for 1,800 square foot with a pool. I mean, you get a pool. So like, I don't understand the thought process for people that want to charge that amount of money for such a small place. I just don't get it. We ended up selling the home because we didn't need it anymore, and it was becoming a hassle. We would have never moved back in that house. It's too small for our family. Like I said, we bought that home when it was just me and her. So there's no way we're going to move back into that house with 3 kids and a dog. And more stuff. I just don't understand the concept of, you know, charging people a ridiculous amount of money for such a small home. No, I didn't want to become my own slumlord. Oh, he can break that ice? I don't know. We did have a tenant, and we never had like really bad tenants, but we did have one tenant that they rented the property, and we allowed any animals. Like, we didn't, within reason. Do I have enough for this? No, it takes 6. The one thing that you couldn't have was like snakes and exotic pets, like anything insane. You could have fish, dogs, cats. We didn't give a shit what size dog you had. I think like you could have I think up to 3 dogs was our maximum amount of dogs. Like, you couldn't have any more than 3 dogs. But this family, they had 2 cats. And the cats, we had carpet in the bedrooms and hardwood or linoleum, not linoleum, laminate wood in the living areas and in the dining room and the kitchen. And we didn't have any problems with this family until they got ready to check out. Like, we didn't hear of any issues. The property managers would check in on them and like make sure everything was good, and everything was fine. And then they got ready to move out, and oh, this is gonna hurt. They got ready to move out, and they ended up they had painted one of the rooms, and we told them that if you paint a room, then it needs to go back to the neutral color it was when you moved in. And they were fine with that. Everybody's fine with that. Every time we had somebody, yeah, okay. So they painted this room, and they put like triangles on the wall or something. And when they repainted over it, they didn't paint it completely. So, or they didn't do enough coats, so you still saw the triangles on the wall. So we were kind of pissed off at that. We're like, come on, we told you to paint, and it's gotta cover the walls or cover what you did. But the biggest one was the cats. In all the bedrooms, when you walk into the bedroom, there's your carpet and then like a transition strip into the hardwood or the laminate flooring. Well, the transition strip was pulled up, and the cats had like clawed at the beginning of the carpet and frayed it and like destroyed it. So we had to replace the carpet. We ended up replacing it with more laminate flooring, but we were just like, oh my god, like, what destroyed the carpet? Did you not like tell your cats? And the property managers didn't even tell us about it. Like, we walked in there and found out ourselves. So we were kind of thrown, and we were like, are they gonna pay for this? And they tried to deny it, like, not the property managers, but the people that were renting the place, the tenants. They like, oh, our cats didn't do that. That was like that when we moved in. Oh. That's why we take pictures. So the property managers showed them the photos and were like, no. This is what it looked like before y'all moved in. This is what it looks like after y'all moved in. And they didn't want to pay us. But eventually they had to pay us because they would have been in court and they'd have been screwed. So, yeah, that's why the security deposit exists. So they ended up losing their security deposit. And so through us, you had to pay your first month's rent and a security deposit. They lost both. because they ended up the room was trashed, the carpet was trashed, another room was screwed up, like the trim board along the wall was pulled away, like not fought like pulled away over time, but like it was pulled off. So we had to finish that or fix that. So it wasn't. It was a little bit of a hassle, but like you said, that's why security deposits exist, and that's what they ended up having to do. But yes, renting is a pain in the. Long story short, renting is a pain in the ass. Buying your own home can be a pain in the ass. Like last night, so it's like I don't know. It's 10 o'clock. And my son was upstairs, and I was like, hey, bros, it's 10. You gonna go lay down? And he's like, yep. So he goes to bed, and he comes downstairs, and he texts me. I go in the living room where my wife is, and he texts me, and he goes, Dad, can you come downstairs? I was like, I just sat down. Like, what is it? And he said, it sounds like it's raining in the house, in this room. And I was like, what? Raining? What are you talking about? And he said, yeah, it's raining. So I was like, okay. So I come downstairs immediately, and I walk into the utility room, which is on the other side of this wall, and the hot water heater. So on the top of a hot water heater, there's a valve, and that's an expansion valve. And whenever the pressure in your tank gets too high, it releases the pressure. There's a drain in the middle of the floor. And I think this only works for gas hot water heaters, which is what we have. But there's a drain in the floor, a hole in the floor, to where if this happens, water just goes in that drain and drains out the house. Well, that occurred, and it's never happened before, and I had never seen it before. I was like, what the hell's going on? And I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna end up, this is a huge problem, blah blah blah. So I looked up, like, what do you do about it? And it said turn the hot water, or turn the water off to the tank, and then that'll stop it, and then either call a plumber or whatever. So the gas was on. It was running. I could hear it, igniting underneath the hot water heater. So I turned the heat on the temperature gauge on the hot water heater down, and it turned the gas off, and it and I turned the water back on, and it stopped doing it. So I think the pressure was just too high due to the heat. That reminds me that I need to go get my water heater checked out. There you go. What's wrong with yours? I need to heal. He's gonna need MP soon, which I have an MP item. Nothing, but I don't want it flooding my basement one day. Yeah, let's make sure that's taken care of. And hot water heaters, they can be finicky. When we moved in this house, we turned the water on, and God, it smelled like rotten eggs. We're like, what is the... God, that smells so bad. What is the problem? We thought forgot what that rod is called, but in the top of your hot water heater, there's a rod that runs down the middle, and it collects all the impurities and stuff inside the water that runs through the lines. So we thought that no, I need to go here. We thought that the rod was just worn out, because they do degrade over time. But I looked at the age of the hot water heater, and it's only like 3 years old. So I was like, okay, it's a fairly new hot water heater. But my father-in-law was like, let's check it out anyway. So you take a big socket and you put on top of it, because it's in the shape of a bolt, and you unscrew it and you pull it out. And it was in decent shape. It had some stuff on it, but I had bought a new one just in case this one was already shot. I still have the old one, but the old one is one big rod. They make some that are like in pieces, but they're all connected together via wire, so it can flex, because the rod is the length of the hot water heater, and you unbolt it and you try and pull it out and you're hitting the ceiling inside the room. So I bought a new one and I replaced it with the old one, but the old one is fine. So that wasn't the problem. There's also a water softener next to the hot water heater. There was no salt in it when we moved in. And I opened the thing and I couldn't smell anything inside the hot water heater. So like it smelled, or not the hot water heater, the softener. And it smelled fine, but I got to reading that if your water softener doesn't have any salt in it and water is just collecting in the bottom, then that can create your problem. So I put some deodorizer inside the water softener and I filled it with salt, and I ran the water inside the bathroom that's next door, next to that room, and just black gunk come out of the faucet for like 30 seconds. I was like, oh, that's disgusting. And then I ran another deodorizer through it, and that got rid of the smell. So finally that got rid of the smell. But it was bad. I was like, I mean, it was awful. It's not really a purifier per se. It's more of a like a impurity collector, if you could say. I forgot. It's got a name. I want to say it's something rod, but it's in the top of your hot water heater. It's probably under a rubber gasket on top. The bolt head's only about yay big. I think you need like a 7/8 size socket to take it off. La, 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 la. She needs more freaking HP, man. That's big damage. They're definitely doing more damage to stronger enemies. Stop doing ice shot. Don't hit her. I love you so much, internet. You're my favorite internet. So we went into a cave that was down towards the bottom, and this is where we ended up. What is this place? It's so cold, but so beautiful. I kind of want to go out because... Go down here. Alright, there's nothing down. I want to avoid these enemies. Okay, that was nothing down there. Ah! What's happening? I have a very bad feeling about this. Something's up there, Alex. Something big.
Who has awakened me from my deep slumber?
I assume that's the white dragon. I do have to say the dragon looks super goofy in this game.
It is rare for humans to venture into my lair, let alone ones as young as you three. I am Quark, head of the dragon tribe. You have traveled a long and dangerous road to stand here before me, my young adventurers, and thus your mission must be urgent.
Water heaters should be replaced every 10 years. Why should they be replaced every 10 years? Hey, Alex, did you hear that? He called us adventurers. This old dragon is obviously very wise. This dragon is so friendly, I guess I'm just used to Skyrim dragons. Yeah, it's super nice. This is a friendly dragon. My name is Alex. I'm honored to meet you, Quark. I'm Null. Nice to meet you. I'm Ramus. Likely ban evade restricted. Evader restricted. Ban. Okay, Siri button did it. Mommy. My name is Luna. We came here from Berg to meet you, sir. And perhaps we were destined to meet. You appear somehow very familiar to me. Are you speaking to me? Yes, child. I sense that our souls are intertwined in some ancient manner. Alas, it may be only that age and isolation have taken their toll. But the feeling is so... Yeah, we walk down memory lane some other time. Right now, we need... No! What are you trying to do? Get us killed? Just hush and leave the negotiating to me. Boom. All hail Quark, the mighty white dragon. For what purpose do you beseech me, little boy? Yeah! Mighty Quark? We're here to find the legendary dragon diamond? Could you please give us the dragon diamond? You braved such a dangerous course to secure a dragon diamond? I'm beginning to regret that course myself. Please don't chomp us to bits. Why is it you humans prize those things so much? Don't you know they're made from my Was he gonna say shit? They're made from my shit. Dragon diamonds confirmed. Dragon diamonds are made from dragon dukes. Oh, what's the use? Let me just go wipe real quick. I think Ramses has the right idea. Alex, we should go. If you want my diamond so badly, children, you must accomplish one task. Retrieve the diamond ring found deep within this cave. Return it to me, and I shall give you the diamond. He's gonna need that time to take this decade-old shit. Is that it? I'm surprised you aren't handing out nuggets all day. On the contrary, to obtain the ring, you must pass through the dragon trial. The last to succeed was a headstrong youth named Dine. Unless you use the strength of both your body and your mind, as Dine did, the ring shall forever remain beyond your grasp. He's just trying to scare us, Alex. Let's pass this trial and get our diamond. Wait, children, before you begin, I shall restore you all to the full strength. You'll need it. You may begin, children. Your future now rests squarely in your own diminutive hands. Does he say any, where to go, per se? Hey, boy. Wait, no, Alex. It is Alex, is it not? I'll be waiting for you to return as a true adventurer.